Welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about the movie Bring It On. And so basically the movie Bring It On has like many different franchises, but this is one of the franchises that I could remember easily as a kid watching it, and it just like popped up in my head to watch. But this is one of the movies I haven't seen in a long time, so I'm just like summarizing everything that I've seen. So basically this movie is about this girl who's like from the suburbs, and she moves into the more urban areas, very like trashy ghetto areas. So basically, she moves there, and I feel like the movie is more of like about the economic standards in like worlds and how it works. Cause she goes from being this rich preppy girl to being this like this girl who doesn't live in the same like a nice neighborhood anymore and stuff. And I also feel like it deals with subjects of like jealousy, temptation, and like finding out who your real friends are versus finding out who your real friends are not. Because in the movie, basically, she has like a boyfriend, and then there's like a girl, and the girl literally just like wants her whole life and everything because she's like jealous of her. So she like sleeps with her boyfriend. She, ends up taking her spot because she's no longer a cheerleader for there anymore and stuff like that. And then the boyfriend, he makes my head hurt. Honestly, he's just a his character was a good actor because I can't stand his character every time I look on him screen. This man is a hot ass mess. His character has the audacity to try to lie to her about it on the prom, to bring her there, and tries to have two girlfriends at one time. Then on top of that, her character literally has to deal with harassment on the first day of her going to her new school. And makes my head hurt again. And honestly, I felt really bad for her character because, you know, she genuinely did try. And she had to basically try so hard just to, like, even get a spot. And they didn't really like her because, like, they thought she would be, like, preppy, stuck up, and, like, a snobby white girl. But she really actually wasn't, though. But her character was actually super sweet, and she was actually super nice and everything. And it took, like, a lot out of her to, like, basically try to prove herself to them because, you know, because like the economic standards and the can I say culture? I don't know. Culture was like different and stuff like that because like they're like more urban and more ghetto when she's coming from it's more of like the suburbs and stuff like that. So she ends up like having to prove to herself and everything. Because at the same time, there's like a scene where she's trying to help somebody from her old squad, even though she's not like on that squad anymore and everything. And then she kind of realizes that the girl who was like her friend or whatever, I don't guess a friend, was like a tyrant the whole time and everything. And then she ends up like proving herself to the team, and then she ends up getting like a permanent spot on the team and everything. And then there's like a other guy at the school, and she ends up like being with him. I think I'm not sure, but I think she ends up like being with some guy at the school. And then like Rihanna comes in, and that's like the end of the movie. But looking back at the movie, I don't really get much of a big takeaway from it. But one thing that never made sense to me in the movie was like everything. Not everything. One thing that never made sense in the movie was how come they like just judged her and everything, and they thought, oh, she's white and everything, she's gonna be snobby and everything, and they literally just found out that turns out that she wasn't actually a snob. She was actually like a really sweet girl, and she was like trying to adjust to this new suburban life. Not suburban, this like more, I don't know why I said suburban. I meant to say urban. This more urban lifestyle because not what she was used to and everything. And then on top of that, they literally put that girl through a lot. I just don't understand why they were trying to like judge her and everything because, like I said, she came from different economic backgrounds, so it took a lot for her to adjust and all that. And on top of that, they really was like really racist to her, honestly, because it was like they were just judging her because she was white and everything, and because like yeah, she came from money, but she wasn't really a terrible person. She just wasn't used to certain things, and it took her time to adjust. And I feel like it was just wrong of them to treat her so badly in like the movie and everything. But like I said, I don't really get a big takeaway from that movie. Well, I do, honestly. I could see you fitting in the themes of jealousy, envy, greed, lust, lying, and having to adjust at the same time. And then on top of that, you also have racism you could add on to that. I'm also sorry if this like comes out weird or whatever. It's just that I haven't watched this movie in a long time, and I'm just remembering the bits and pieces of the movie and stuff like that. Oh yeah, the movie also dives down into like black culture more because like now she's like in a more, like I said, urban school, and you know there's like this one scene, and then there's like another scene where they were like doing like crutching and stuff like that to add on to like the routines and stuff, which is also known as like stepping. And there's like this one girl who's from like the other team tries to get them like disqualified because like crutching is seen as like ghetto and like just messed up and stuff like that, because she's like never seen a crutching, so she's not like used to those type of dancing. So she basically tries to get them disqualified, which is wrong because like obviously that's very wrong and that's just really inappropriate. But it's like obviously the dances are gonna be like different because it's coming from like two different, like, how do you say, types of dancing, because like two different teams, there's gonna be two different types of dancing. So that's also happens in the movie. But like I said, honestly, I don't even know what I should say next about this movie. I really don't remember that much. But one thing I did like about this show was how this movie was that it did allow her to see who her real friends were, and it allowed her to grow and see more experiences, and allow her to see who she could trust versus who she could not trust. Another thing was that this movie also did explore, like I said, this suburban and the urban areas, and also did like show the realism of what those areas, like living in those areas, would be like living in somewhere where it's like ghetto versus where it's not ghetto. It also depicts, I would say, you know, people who live like a higher like range of money versus people who don't. You know, it also depicts that. The movie also depicts reverse racism, which is wrong, and it also depicts racism from, you know, the characters, because like they're racist or because they, like I said, they think she's like a stuck-up white girl and she's snobby, but they found out that she's actually not snobby, which is like reverse racism, which like I said is wrong. And the other racism over like, you know, there was that girl and they were like practicing crumping and stuff like that, and she like saying that it was ghetto because some people, you know, when they don't like see certain dances and stuff like that, they don't really like, you know, how do I say, they don't really see certain dances and stuff like that, and it's like seen as ghetto because it's not the type of dancing that they're used to. Like I said, was also from like racism, which was wrong and stuff like that. And yeah, just don't be racist to anybody. I don't care if you're black, if you're white, if you're pink, if you're purple, just don't be racist. And that's all. It's just wrong. And no one should be judged by their skin tone, only by how they act.